Good morning, ladies and gents. Salam tanay stilang. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Happy Monday. I'm calling Lebrahane Senyor as well to everybody that's been reaching out to us. Joining me today is CEO of Soaso Design, a young entrepreneur who's building a successful business and brand. Ablenae Dawit is here with us. Good morning. How you doing, man?
Good morning.
Oh man, I'm happy to have you here in the studio, man.
Great to have you guys. You guys have a lot of energy, and it's refreshing for Monday morning.
And we believe that, we will truly believe that, Mondays should be started that way. Every morning, if anything, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think Monday's the first day of the week.
Yeah, right.
So
especially for an entrepreneur,
Definitely.
So really, and of course, this is one of the things I want to get into as well. Really, real quick, I do want to say that you are doing. I've been following you up on Soaso product for a while. If you haven't seen any of the Soaso designs, go online and see the amazing products they have. All right, they do have amazing hoodies, jackets that are made out of traditional patterns, stylet, and it is really quite incredible. They are very applicable. So really amazing job. So tell us, really, I know you've said a lot about this on so many different media, but let's start it off. Tell us about the journey behind Soaso, and we talk about the brand.
All right. So Soaso Design was founded by my mother. Mm-hmm. Her name is Soaso. It was named after her. Probably, I don't know, 17 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. She's she's a very successful fashion designer. Mm-hmm. So I grew up watching her create joy out of clothes. Mm-hmm. A couple of things happened. She's a great designer, but when it comes to business, she didn't really have a business partner.
Okay.
So the business eventually went out of business, mm-hmm. and we actually lost a lot of things to the business. The business had a big loan, so it took away a car.
Wow,
a lot of
bad.
Property. Yeah, it was terrible. But 2 years and a half back. Mm-hmm. I guess everything hit kind of rock bottom for Soaso, for my mother, and for the family. Mm-hmm. But COVID happened. And actually, COVID is our best friend. I know this. I don't want to say this, but
I feel you.
Yeah. So what happened was the bank couldn't force us to pay anymore. The bank was actually suing us.
Oh, wow.
Because we couldn't pay back. And we couldn't get kicked out of the place that we had rented.
Oh, wow.
So everything kind of took a pause. And I was like, Mom, this is our opportunity. So using my salary, I was a marketing manager for school, an international school.
Okay.
So I was taking my salary and buying some fabric, and we started making masks. Wow. So that's kind of how it started. So making masks, selling it in the neighborhood. And then she created a hoodie out of gabi a few years back. And I was like, Ma, this is what we need for our generation. Why are you sleeping on this? So I started buying materials. She would make one. I started becoming a part-time for my day job. And I started selling what we were making on the streets.
Wow.
So she would make 1-2 pieces. I would walk around literally stopping people like in the middle of the road.
No, guys, check this out.
Yeah, definitely. I was walking around Bole. I remember one day
amazing.
my friends was like, "Isn't this kid like? Wasn't he saying like he got a job or something? Why is he selling clothes in the middle of the street?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but did that for a couple of months. Lost a lot of weight. It was very difficult to get off the ground. But
especially as well, like having a job that is paying you well, and to leave that and then have that goal set in mind and to go after that, it's
amazing. You have to understand, it was for me, my mother, it was our only source of income. So I paid my mom's rent. I took care of everything. I'm 24. I was a marketing manager at 22. It was ridiculous because I had to work really hard starting from high school because we financially lost everything.
Wow.
So I did sales. I did putting posters on the road with cola.
Wow.
Yeah, I did sales supervisor, digital marketing. I hustled, and eventually leaving that job while still we didn't have nothing, a lot of debt. It was probably crazy. Family made sure to call me and tell me you are insane for doing this.
But wow, it's an amazing journey, though. I'm sure you've become such a different person because of that. You know what I mean? I think that really contributes a lot to the successful business you're running right now.
Definitely. I think it does make you appreciate a lot of things. But how I look at it, the best thing that can happen to a person is they get challenged in life. Because that's where you find yourself. That's where you find the strength in you. You know, I never thought I could do the things I did today, but I was almost forced into it because we had no choice. But yeah, I mean, amazing journey.
As bad as you want to breathe, it's one of the things that one of the guys, I mean, I'm huge on that. And it says that when you're trying to be successful, you're trying to do something, you really want to succeed, you got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And you got into that position as well. You know what I mean? This needs to happen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm going to put everything about me and everything that I have to it. And I think it's amazing. And I think it's also as well, like the work you've done is paying off. You know what I mean? And tell me about the past few years there. You know what I mean? After you have changed it up, tell me about the progress of Soaso.
Yeah, so I did not come from garment fashion. You know, I did digital marketing, but I looked at the businesses. I was like, okay, you know, why did this fail in the first place? Because we had no problem being creative. My mother is a brilliant designer. Why did this go wrong? And I saw a lot of problems in overcomplicated products, unscalable models, like the fact that she had to take measurements of each and every customer was crazy to me. How do you scale this? You can't scale this. So I went in and I said, okay, we're going to create products that we could deliver to our customers. Because selling on the street was so difficult that it taught me, like, you know, they would try it on and it doesn't fit or whatever I had. And I was like, okay, we need to standardize this. You know, I kept asking myself, why is our fashion industry so small? And why is it one of the biggest enterprises in other countries? Why do we still choose their product over our product? And it was, you know, it was inconsistent. There was no size standard. We couldn't produce a lot of it. So we created products that solved these problems, basically. And, you know, one of the things I always tell people is share your story. Since day one, when I was selling on the street, I shared it on Twitter. I took a photo and I was like, you know, hustling, selling on the street. If you guys come across, please do try the product. And if you like it, buy it.
Oh, wow.
And people loved the story. You know, the day I left the company, I tweeted about it. I shared it on my Instagram and all. And, you know,
I love that.
Yeah, sharing your story is the most powerful marketing tool you'll ever have. Because that got the attention of some media people. I went on EBS. I went on, you know, like every single TV show. You could just, I was on Dougie's show. It was ridiculous. And the thing is, share your story. That really helped us get off our feet. And eventually we started delivering to customers. I was delivering myself, of course. The thing is, I had to sell that day because that was the only money we had. I had to go to Mercato, buy some product, some materials, get it produced in the afternoon, go out, sell. I did that 1, 2, 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we started delivering. And then it started to pick up. I had a friend who had a camera. I was like, dude, can we do a photo shoot? Just let me use your camera. He's like, okay. And we DM'd a couple of models. None of them responded. So my sister, my brother ended up being the models. And the clothes we took picture in, it was the only thing we had. So we had to sell that too.
Wow.
It was the only product we had. So, but, you know, and then sales started picking up. We hired our first employee, our second employee, started doing better photo
So your
shoots.
mom was doing the production?
She was doing mostly design.
Okay.
At first, she was doing production, but I started getting production people in place.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so,
incredible.
you know, that led to, now we have about 25 employees.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy when I
It's
think
incredible
about it.
journey,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And man, I think that a lot of people should definitely learn a whole lot from that journey. You know what I mean? It shows determination. It shows consistency in anything you do as well, trying to be disciplined to it.
Yeah.
And I love when you said as well, like, you know, you saw a gap because you saw what the problem with, you know, the fashion industry was. You know what I mean? It wasn't able to scale up. So you saw a problem as an entrepreneur. That's why I always say is like fixing a problem. You know what I mean? So you go like, okay, let's fix that problem. And also as well, now you started by telling your story, you give your brand flavor. So really, like, since we also have a marketing background as well, I want you to touch up on the value of brand, because they show you creating such a strong brand here. So what does brand mean to you, and how are you applying that to your business?
Yeah. So we now live in an age where product, unless you have some kind of patent on it, product, it matters, but that's not what you're selling. You're never really selling just a product. You're selling something else. You might be selling a feeling. Most people in the fashion industry, it's a feeling. I remember wearing my first Jordan shoe, and it wasn't just a shoe. I was crazy. I couldn't stop looking at it in class, and I almost felt stupid. I was like, why? It's just a shoe.
It's right there as well.
Yeah, but it's not just a shoe. They're not selling shoes. So creating a brand is so important because that is what you're selling. For me, brand means turning a thing into a who, you know, almost giving an identity. You know, there are people in your life that you really like. You like their attitude. You like how they wear clothes. And you kind of have to create that for your product. It needs to have an identity. It needs to have, you know, it's almost trying to create a person out of a business. Like, what is this about? What's its character? What does it like? What does it not like? It can't be for everyone. So people will copy your product overnight.
Yeah,
you
true.
can copy an Apple iPhone if you go to China. You're not that's not what you're selling anymore. So it needs to be about your brand. People need to feel something when they see your brand.
Completely agree. I completely agree. And I think that is one of the things, especially businesses out here, need to understand thoroughly as well. And really, another thought that came to my mind as well earlier when you were talking about, like, there was product, but there wasn't a business. And I thought that was such a strong statement, because a lot of people will have product, and they will think that they're in a business. They will keep on making that product. It could be fashion, as you said. It could be any kind of anything, you know, whatever people are producing, but then they lack the business aspect of it. And you coming from a background where it has nothing to do with fashion, but you have figured it out as well. So, like, why would you say the best way to go if somebody has a product, you know what I mean, to go about the business aspect of it and to actually make it a full-on sustainable business?
Yeah.
How was that journey like for you? Because that's what happened in your case, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to create something that you could forecast to be a profitable thing. You know, a business profiting shows that you've built a business. So you have to actually say, okay, how many of these can I sell? What is the margin on this? What's the profit margin? You need to forecast your costs and what would that mean? And the thing about especially the fashion industry is a lot of people get so fixated on the creative side that the creative side almost steps on the business sides. And now you have to understand, whatever you're doing, you're in business. You know, you're an artist, you're still in business. You need to make something that can self-feed at least. And that was the big problem that I saw from our past business, which is, let me tell you a moment that really got me obsessed with business. It was my mother got named top 10 fashion designers in Ethiopia, a certain website. Wow. And she was actually named top 100 influential people in Ethiopia. I don't know which year. If you Google Sawaso Hailu, designer Sawaso Hailu, you see her work. At the same time, her car was being sold to the bank. The bank took over her car. And for me, it's like, what happened here? The disconnect there, you know? That's why, like, we need to teach people how to do business. Creative people need to know how to do business. And that really got me passionate. What happened here? How how are these two things happening at the same time? And that's why it's like, you need to learn business. Whatever you're in, you need to learn business. You need to think, is this going to make a profit? How much of this, like, should I sell to make a profit? And yeah, you can't ignore business.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you plan on actually succeeding and selling that product, you really have to understand that side of it.
Yeah. And I think that's where I see the biggest disconnect. And, my passion is business, not to be rich or something, but because I see everyday people who are talented, who are so good at what they do, but they're never making money from it. They can't make a living out of it. We all know someone in our neighborhood who does a bag better than Gucci does a bag.
Yeah, it's true.
But they're still in that same neighborhood. They can barely pay for their rent. All this, the unlock to all this creativity is business to me. We need to know how to scale creativity. That's through business.
I think that's a very strong point as well. I think that is something I think we all need to take in. And the information you're sharing today are gold, ladies and gents. And I hope that you guys are having an amazing time. Of course, Ablenae is joining us today. In case you're just joining us for the first time. What's up, guys? I just want to quickly remind you that this show is brought to you by Deliver Addis. Make sure you download the app or go to the website www.deliveraddis.com. Check your favorite restaurant and get your meal from 30 to 60 minutes. Deliver Addis, our sponsor. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well. Peace. Ablenae is joining me today, and we are having an incredible conversation about business, brand, and as it goes as well. And I don't know, man, I want you guys to go subscribe to our YouTube channel as well and see the amazing jacket that he has on as well. It's an amazing product. So what are the products that really that Tasso Design really has? What kind of types? What kind of materials do you guys have?
Yeah. So the idea is we only use hand-woven traditional Ethiopian fabric, and we try to create functional, easy to wear, easy to understand clothes. And what that looks like currently is jackets, hoodies, some kaba.
Yeah, kaba.
Awesome. Yes. For our female customers, we have some kabas, but we have unisex jackets. The idea is it kind of easily consumable, but traditional cultural clothing.
Wow. I know. I like the one you have on as well. Tell me about that.
Thank you. Yeah, this is one of our latest collections.
Okay.
Yeah, what's so fascinating is that we're trying to go into different cultures in Ethiopia and seeing what different fabrics and what different patterns they have. You would not believe how many types of patterns, just how many types of fabrics we have. And for us, like, people always ask us, why don't you do something different from a jacket? And we're like, look, we can't even put enough patterns and colors into the jacket. There's so much culture behind.
Wow.
And so basically, but that's it. The idea is that, you can easily put on a jacket. They're light, they're easy to wear. When you go out, just a good way to stand out from the crowd.
Oh yeah, that's like the South's tradition, right? That's the culture of.
Yeah. So our last collection was inspired from different regions of Oromia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna be releasing more. We're gonna have vests coming in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, something for the more hotter seasons now.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's quite amazing. I mean, I really cannot wait to get me one of hoodies.
You got it.
The Gabi hoodie as well. It was something that caught my attention. How was the reaction to that amongst the generation as well? I'm sure that's something that sounds quite nice, doesn't it?
I will want to.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it was overwhelmingly good. Yeah, I feel like a Gabi hoodie. It was like, I remember someone tweeted that once before we even did the product. It was like, where can I get I don't want to, I love my Gabi in my bed and I don't want to take it off when I go to work. And I remember it's a good opportunity because we had the idea we could make you one.
Simple as that.
Yeah. I think it's something that we look for. I think our generation is constantly looking for ways to express the love for its traditional culture, but in a sense that it makes sense for us.
No, that's true.
It's like I'm gonna be mentioning Rofnan right now.
I was about to say as well.
Yeah, it's like him taking those traditional beats, traditional sounds, and making EDM, electronic music, something that's easy for us to hear, for us to understand.
Connect, yeah.
That's kind of what we try to do in the fashion world. It's like we love our culture, we love our tradition, we want to learn from it, but we express our love for our culture in a slightly different way, in a way that our generation understands it. And I guess in a way it's like trying to tighten the gap between our culture and tradition and the modern world. Taking something from both and kind of fusing it.
I love that. I love the fact that that we even brought up Rofnan as well, because that's the part of the My Generation movement. You know what I mean? That's the whole picture that I see. You know what I mean? For the generation to take over and tap into the music, tap into the fashion, tap into the movies, the movie industry, the business as it goes. You know what I mean? And
it's an amazing time, right?
Yeah.
Like I always tell my friends, we're gonna grow up. And we're going to look back to this generation, this time, and we're going to say, damn, did we even realize what just happened? Rofan, Kasmas, all these amazing artists, amazing DJs, amazing creatives, fashion brands. I don't think we understand how, we're in one of the best times for creative and for creative industry.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
And I think that it is the time to actually go out and create, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's one of the things I want to bring up as well. Like, to the generation that is listening and rocking with us, like to the people that want to tap into business, you know what I mean? Like, what would be that piece of advice that you would have for them?
So that I used to answer that question so easily, but the more time goes and the more experience things, it's like such a broad.
I know,
such a broad thing. But look, I always try to tell people, look, if you have a voice within that's telling you to do something, you like photography, you like art, it could be business, it could be just the weirdest thing your family won't understand, sports. God put a voice in you. Like the world, God is not going to come right down what you need to do in life. But that voice that keeps coming back in your head, that makes you want to do something, start a business, start your, photography career, anything. Listen to it. You live once.
That's true.
You don't live twice, right? And you gotta go after your dream. You gotta go after the things that inspire you. It's actually not okay to wake up every day and feel bad about what you're about to do all day, of going to a job that you don't like. So dig within, try to understand what drives you, what makes you passionate. Because, it doesn't feel like work, right? Like, for me, it doesn't feel like work. Even when I'm stressed out, and, running a business is one of the hardest things you could do. And it's like you're responsible for something 24/7, nonstop. Yeah. I don't have a kid, but I feel like this probably be.
That's what I always say too.
You're responsible,
and you gotta see what could possibly happen as well. So
exactly.
Even if you don't have problems, you're trying to resolve future problems as they come.
Exactly.
Earlier when you said that hot season is coming up, and you make invest, you know what I mean, and you're thinking about ahead of time.
But the thing is, it doesn't feel like work because I know this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And it drives me. It's motivating every day. It's liberating. So try to listen to a voice within you that's telling you to do something. Yeah. It's there for a reason. It's not there by accident.
Yeah, I believe that one.
And then, I always tell everyone's living like they're gonna have another chance at this. You're not gonna get born again. You're not gonna have another life, right? In this world that we're in, you got one life.
Definitely. I think that's the best way to even wrap up today's our interview. Thank you so much for coming through and enjoying your experience.
Yeah, really appreciate it, man.
And So Design, make sure you go check it out. And where's the store?
Yeah, so our new store is right at the Atlas, Bole Atlas traffic light. There's a bank. There's a building with a Zamzam Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right on the ground. But you could call us. You could DM us. All our social media, we're active. Sawaso Design.
We do have to wrap up. We're gonna head out, ladies and gents. Good, better, best. You never let it rest. Your good is better, and your better is best. We're gonna end the show.